Welcome to LNN News. I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt. Here are this week's top stories. A new popular toy factory is coming to the Tri-Cities. The potential sale of a local public green space stirs up controversy in Petersburg. A bear alert in Hopewell's Riverside neighborhoods. And in sports, the Cavaliers secure the next spot in the playoffs, bringing the game to Petersburg. We'll be back with those stories and more after this.
Colonial Plumbing, Heating, and Air offers service with a smile. They're a family-owned and operated service company located in Colonial Heights. Their hand-picked team is dedicated to delivering top-rated service with a satisfaction guarantee.
We're different from the status quo. Our people, our service, our products. They're revolutionary.
Yes, you can still get haircuts, colors, highlights, waxing services, everything that's going to make you look great right here at the Apothic Company.
Welcome back to the LNN studio. First, let's take a look at national and state news. According to a report by The Defender, on June 2nd of this year, a group of doctors filed a lawsuit against the FDA. The case is the result of physicians claiming that the FDA unlawfully interfered with their ability to treat patients. Doctors Robert L. Apter, Mary Talley Bowden, and Paul E. Merrick believe that the FDA acted outside of its authority by directing the public, including health professionals and patients, to not use ivermectin, even though the drug is fully approved by the FDA for human use. The plaintiffs have stated that the lawsuit isn't focused on ivermectin, but the core issue of who determines the appropriate treatment for each patient and whether the FDA can legally interfere with the doctor-patient relationship. On Friday, June 10th, Smithfield Foods, Inc. announced that it will be reducing its operations in the western region of the United States, including closing a production facility in California. According to the company, Smithfield expects to cease operations in Vernon, California by early 2023. The company specifically cites the, quote, escalating cost of doing business in California, end quote, as the reason for this closure. In addition to the shutdown of the California facility, Smithfield Foods will downsize its pig herd in Utah and is considering options for eliminating its farms in both Arizona and California. The company, based right here in Virginia, is offering employees at the impacted locations options for relocating to other facilities, as well as transition assistance as these changes are implemented. On Monday, June 13th, Governor Glenn Youngkin, Virginia Tech President Tim Sands, and Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun jointly announced the formation of a public-private partnership aimed to drive talent development and increased labor force participation in Virginia. Boeing has committed $50 million to the creation of Virginia Tech's Innovation Campus, focusing on graduate education in computer science and engineering, particularly in aerospace and defense applications. The campus will become an internationally recognized research center for artificial intelligence, quantum software, wireless communications, and intelligent interfaces. As part of the Boeing Virginia Tech partnership, the aerospace and defense company has committed to providing student scholarships, facilitating recruitment of world-class faculty, funding K-12 STEM pathway programs, and supporting programs for non-traditional undergraduates, including veterans, to enroll in its state-of-the-art programs. The three entities also announced the formation of the Boeing Center for Veteran Transition and Military Families, located on Virginia Tech's Innovation Campus, which will be a key component of a statewide network of resources for veterans and their families. Exciting news for kids and the young at heart. Your next set of Legos may be made right here in Central Virginia. The company, known for its plastic toy bricks, is investing over $1 billion in a new manufacturing facility in Chesterfield's Meadowville Technology Park. The facility will be 1.7 million square feet and provide the area with close to 1,800 new jobs. In a statement, Governor Glenn Youngkin called the project transformational, emphasizing its role in reviving the Commonwealth's manufacturing industry. LEGO CEO Niels Christensen cited Virginia's skilled workforce and excellent transportation access as reasons for the company's decision to locate here. For more on these stories and more, check out the LNN Insider. Subscribe by going to LNNusa.com and clicking on the subscribe button at the top of the page. We'll be back with local news after this.
Bopper's Malt Shop, the niftiest place in Petersburg. ice cream, candy, footlong hot dogs, burgers, and now introducing the Bopper Blast, a hand-dipped vanilla shake with a blast of candy. Available in over 15 flavors. Bopper's Malt Shop, Old Town Petersburg.
BSV keeps it 100. 100% committed to you. You have questions, we have answers. Just give us a call. BSV. We're 100% for you, 100% of the time. Call or visit bsvnet.com today.
Welcome back. Let's turn now to local news. A popular Petersburg City green space may soon be under private ownership. On June 7th, the Petersburg Department of Economic Development recommended the city sell the green space located at the corner of Market Street and High Street to William Nicholson. A public hearing has been scheduled for Tuesday, June 21st, when council will decide whether or not to authorize acting city manager Kenneth Miller to execute a purchase agreement. But not all residents and businesses are in favor of the city turning over their park to a private owner.
I think they should be publicly owned, which gives the opportunity for everyone to be able to enjoy this nice location. If indeed it was private, then it would be restricted, and folks like myself and the individuals I care for will not be able to utilize this space if it was privately owned. But if it becomes to the point where it's private, then at that particular point, anyone who owns this location will be able to fence it in, which will then seclude it from anyone being able to come in and enjoy the park. So again, I'm against and not for it being privately owned.
While many oppose the sale of the property, others support it. LNN spoke directly with two High Street residents who were in favor of the sale but were unavailable for interviews. LNN reached out to Mr. Nicholson for comment, who agreed to an interview after the June 21st meeting. Vice Chair of the city's Planning Commission, Fenton Bland, spoke on the importance of the property and how it should be handled going forward.
There's no advantage, none whatsoever. Petersburg needs as much green space as it possibly can maintain. I think the property ought to go to the planning department. The planning commission should have a say-so, and then it should be referred to city council. But it should be vetted through the planning.
The city's new director of economic development, Brian Moore, told LNN that his department recommended the sale because the citizen had put in the request and had been maintaining it, but ultimately the council would decide the fate of the property. While Nicholson had been maintaining the property for the last 2 years, the High Street Association had historically maintained the property for several years prior. When asked about the fact that citizens will lose guaranteed access to the property, Moore said that when the meeting comes up, he will make sure that is addressed. For now, the fate of an unofficial public park remains in the hands of the City Council. A sheriff's office in Perry County, Tennessee, posted a disturbing warning on its Facebook page, encouraging parents to warn their children not to pick up money they see lying on the ground. Why? 2 recent incidents in Perry County both led to the discovery of meth and fentanyl folded inside the cash. While those 2 incidents occurred in Tennessee, the fentanyl epidemic is growing worse all across the country, including here in Virginia. The Virginia Department of Health recently released a report that shows a 15% increase in fatal overdoses between 2020 and 2021, and the substance that caused the most of those deaths was fentanyl. The problem is on the rise, not just in Virginia, but across the entire country, impacting urban, suburban, and rural areas. Be aware, and parents, caution your kids not to touch money that they see lying on the ground. On Sunday, June 12th, Hopewell Police, Fire, and Animal Control all converged in the 300 block of Riverside Avenue, many running through yards to reach the river. The responders were on a mission, but not a typical one. They were searching for a bear swimming in the Appomattox River. Police Chief Antonio A.J. Stark said the response was necessary to protect the safety of the public, which included families and young children enjoying the Saturday morning at City Park, where they swim and have fun. At the time the bear sighting call came in at 10:36 a.m., local officials did not know where the bear would make landfall. Quote, "It was absolutely about protecting our citizens and ensuring their safety," Stark noted. Animal Control Supervisor Amanda Hoke went to the helipad behind John Randolph Medical Center from where the initial call came in. She too saw the bear swimming from the Chesterfield area into Hopewell. She coordinated a response in direct and constant communication with the Department of Wildlife Resources to ensure the right course of action. Hoke reported that DWR biologists recommended that they corral the bear into a wooded area once it swam ashore. A Nixle alert and other communication helped inform the public of the situation, but once the bear was coaxed into the woods, the department did not receive any other reports of its sighting. On Thursday, June 9th, the city of Petersburg announced the hire of a new director of public works and utilities. Paul Johnson is a resident of Petersburg and brings 20 years of engineering and construction experience to the city. Quote, Mr. Johnson competed against a pool of extremely qualified candidates, said interim city manager Kenneth Miller. I am confident that he will proactively lead Petersburg Public Works and Utilities as the city begins major upgrades and improvements to water, wastewater, storm drainage, and transportation projects that will provide better and expanded services for citizens and business industry growth, end quote. Johnson comes to Petersburg from Henrico County's Department of Public Works, where he served as Director of Road Construction and Maintenance Division, among other roles. He has experience in both the public and private sectors, working with stormwater and drainage systems, structure and road design, site plans, and storm preparation and recovery. Johnson's education includes a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering earned from Pensacola Christian College, and master's work in civil engineering from Florida Atlantic University. He is currently working on a Master of Science in Executive Leadership at Liberty University. Johnson will step into the role of Director of Public Works and Utilities on June 21st with a salary of $125,000 per year. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandy Elba.
And I'm Dr. Adam Elba.
We're chiropractors and we love what we do.
We change lives on a regular basis. We go from pain relief all the way to wellness. We work with the cause of the problem, we help solve the problem, and put your life on a whole different path.
If you're concerned about your health in any way, or you just want to be healthier all the way around, come see us, Chester Family Chiropractic Center.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at the Cloud Factory, who take a customized approach to their customers. They know not everyone is alike, and neither are their needs. So, the Cloud Factory focuses on what's best for you when it comes to CBD, hemp-based products, vape nicotine, glassware, and just about anything, providing alternative routes to a healthier you.
Welcome back. The historic Hopewell Foundation is receiving $100,000 to create a new welcome center at historic Weston Manor. Senator Joe Morrissey explained the funding at the foundation's annual awards banquet on Thursday, June 9th.
There was discussion about building a welcoming center at Weston Manor. We want to have this welcoming center right here at the manor. You mean a building in the house? No, a separate building, Joe, and a separate structure. I go, okay. And I said, well, how much do you need to do this? And he said, $100,000. I said, is that going to cover everything? He said, yes. I'm glad you brought it to my attention. Let me put a budget amendment in. We put that in, Carrie Coyner and I, that amendment in. And I was sharing with Tom a few moments ago, and I'm happy to share with you that budget item 386, number 11C, that allocated $100,000 for the welcoming center here at the Weston Manor has been approved and has been budgeted, and the money's allocated.
The historic Hopewell Foundation expects to receive the funding by 2023. On Friday, June 10th and Saturday, June 11th, Petersburg celebrated the annual Halifax Music Festival. LNN's Chai Gallahan has the story.
This is Chai for LNNnews06162022, and we are here at the Halifax Music Festival with Robert Winningley. And Robert, what's going on today?
Well, I'm here. I got my equipment up too. I've been videotaping for the past 14 years.
14 years?
And I haven't missed one.
Wow.
And it brings a lot of positive energy to the area because we need it here in Petersburg.
Yes. Why does Petersburg need positive energy?
Well, it's been a lot of violence lately, and it seems like the younger people need a direction.
Yeah.
So hopefully, since the past 14 years since I've been coming, there hasn't been one incident.
Yeah. not one violent incident
Not
here
one
at the festival?
violent, not
Okay.
one. So we're hoping today will be the same.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Same here. We're here with Marlo Jones of OG Ribs and Barbecue. So Marlo, what's going on today?
Well, we got the Jazz Fest going on, Halifax Music Festival, some like to call it. And today I'm out here vending with OG Ribs and Barbecue. And got the best ribs on the East Coast.
How long have you been doing this festival?
I'm one of the only original bands at this festival since it first started. With me and my son, we started when the Jazz Fest first started, right?
Wow.
And so we're still here.
All right, well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. With Chai Gallahan at LNNnews06162022.
Juneteenth will be celebrated across the country on Sunday, June 19th, and there are many events to choose from being held right here in the Tri-Cities. In Colonial Heights, the Juneteenth Networking Gala will take place on Saturday, June 18th at 4:30 p.m. at The Vault, located at 123 Pickwick Avenue. In Dinwiddie, Olive Branch Baptist Church will host a Juneteenth celebration Saturday, June 18th at noon. The church is located at 11119 Boyden Plank Road. The city of Hopewell is hosting its Juneteenth Freedom Festival on Saturday, June 18th, also at noon in City Park. Prince George will also mark the holiday on Saturday, June 18th with a Juneteenth celebration and community day at Scott Park behind the courthouse complex. That event will kick off at 8 a.m. And finally, Petersburg residents will have multiple event options starting Friday, June 17th at 5:30 p.m. with a Juneteenth drum circle at the Petersburg Area Art League in Old Town. On Saturday, River Street Market will hold its Juneteenth celebration beginning at 9 a.m., and on Sunday, a Juneteenth Father's Day cookout will begin at 2 p.m. at Pocahontas Island Park. We'll have sports and weather after this.
Hourglass Realty Group.
Opening the door to your next journey.
Downtown Thunder is back, the largest bike and cruising event in the region. The hottest bands, the coolest cars, and of course, the baddest bikes around. The most exciting 5 months of the year, May through September. Don't miss out. This year's lineup features The Code, Buckshot, Crunch, Lost in the Shuffle, and 11 to 1. So catch a ride and join us for Thunder.
The most rewarding part of my day would be seeing the residents putting a smile on their faces, especially if I have family members come up to me and say, "Oh, my loved one, they said they did this with you and they loved it," and that just makes me feel like I'm making a difference in their lives. My name is Chrissy Roth. I'm the Memory Care Activities Coordinator at Dunlop House. We definitely make a difference in the lives of our residents, and I would encourage anyone to come to Dunlop House and see what we're all about. Dunlop House, more than a house, it's home.
In this week's sports update, the Cavaliers move forward in the playoffs, bringing this coming weekend's championship game to Petersburg, and the Chili Peppers lose their hold on the top spot in their division. LNN's Chai Gallahan has the details.
The final four teams in the hunt for the 2022 East Coast Basketball League title converged on Rock Hill, South Carolina on Saturday, June 11th. The number one seed, Petersburg Cavaliers, faced off against the Hickory Hoyas in the early game, while the Carolina Crusaders matched up against the Carolina Thunder in the late game. The first semifinal pitted the Cavs against the only team to hand them a loss this season, the Hoyas. The Hoyas opened with a hot hands going on a 7-0 run in the first minutes of the game, while the Cavs struggled going 0 for 6 from the floor and 0 to 4 from the line. The Hoyas' Isaiah Curtin exploded in the first quarter, draining 14 points. 4 different Hoyas added from beyond the arc, nailing 6 three-pointers in the first as well. But the Cavs kept it close, ending the quarter down only 6 points, 31-26. By the 8:21 mark in the second, the Hoyas built a 14-point lead up 44-30, but the Cavs' pressure defense erased the double-digit deficit with a 36-13 run, finishing the half up to 66-57. And while the Hoyas had put up 10 three-pointers by the half, the Cavs' Elijah Moore had posted 29 first-half points of his own, effectively offsetting the Hoyas' efforts beyond the arc. Late in the fourth, the Cavs pressured the ball again, shifting a 4-point deficit to a 4-point lead by the 6:57 mark. The lead changed again in the fourth before the Cavs' relentless defense and opportunistic buckets in transition posted a 106-102 lead with under 5 left in the game. A lead pushed out to 11 with just under 2 minutes left. Quick fouls and 2 back-to-back threes weren't enough as the Hoyas ultimately fell to the Cavs 123-115.
The Cavaliers just secured their seat to the championship game. We're here with Elijah Moore, who is the game-leading scorer with 44 points. He also put in 14 rebounds tonight. Now unofficial, but that's what the books are showing early on. Elijah, how's the game feel tonight? How's it feel?
Felt great. Just want to do anything I can to get the win. So.
How's it feel taking the team to the championship?
Good. Since I think the past 3 years, we kept getting stuck on this game, so it's good to get over the hump and get to that championship game.
All right, now pretty tight game, pretty tightly called game. First half was back and forth. You guys kicked out to a pretty substantial lead, about 12 to 14 points in the third, but they were able to come back. What were you guys thinking inside your head when they were coming back in the third?
We knew they would make a run. It's a good team over there. They got a lot of shot makers, so when they give it a chance to make open threes, they're going to make them, and that's how they got back in the game. But we knew we had to just keep fighting, and eventually we'll come out with the win.
You guys did a very strong pull away in the fourth quarter. What was the key to getting that separation and getting the win?
Just valuing possessions, valuing the basketball, making sure when we had the ball, we're going to get something good out of it, or we're going to get an offensive rebound, or just going to get back on defense if we miss and try to make up for it.
Elijah, great game. We will see you in the Berg next weekend for the championship. We are back at the post-game show with Walter Williams. Walter, I got to tell you, we got a tight game going back and forth. Right at the end of the half, it was almost an ominous three-pointer. Right at the end of half at the buzzer, you let it fly, you're confident it goes in. How were you feeling at halftime going into this game?
I mean, I was feeling pretty good throughout the whole first half. I mean, shots wasn't falling. I mean, you can't always make your shots. You know what I mean? You just got to keep playing the next play. And my teammates trusted me. They kept coming to me. They kept passing me the ball. So I knew eventually my shots was going to fall. So just keep shooting the ball.
Now, Walter, second half, you guys got out to a pretty substantial lead. Game turned again. They made a run, came back into the game. What were you guys working through in that period? What were you saying to each other?
Again, trust. Just staying together. Basketball is a game of runs. Everybody know that. And we just came together and we said, all right, we get some stops, get 3 stops in a row. Once we get the lead, we got to keep the lead. And that's what we did.
This season's been a great season, but we've had a lot of adversity. There's a lot of challenge to get where we are. We've been at this place before, but we pulled it off today. What's the difference in this team from past teams that you see?
Trust, again, man. We just stick together. Next play, this the philosophy. If you miss a shot or turn it over, if you get a stop, that negates anything that just happened. So we just keep playing. If we mess up, now we definitely got to make them mess up. So that's it. Just staying together, trusting each other, believing in ourselves, believing in our coaches, and just going out there and giving it 110. If you go out there and leave it on the floor, win, lose, or draw, you got nothing to complain about.
How special is it bringing the championship game back to the Berg?
Man, it's special. Special. First of all, thank God for getting us down here safely and to get us back home. But it's always good to win a championship. It's hard to win championships on any level, no matter where you at. So for this group of guys to pull this off, we had a common goal at the beginning of the year. We got it done, and so we're rewarding ourselves with a championship game in Petersburg.
Great game, Walter. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations to the team.
Appreciate you.
Back at the Cavalier postgame show with Coach Dixon, who's a little happy this afternoon.
Yes. Now you guys can see how much taller I am than Chris. I said Chris.
Chris. I'll get him later. Today we're going to use Craig in the interviews.
Got you. Love that.
I think the man's so happy he doesn't know who anybody is.
I have no idea where I'm at right now.
Now, normally we would go over injuries, we would go over foul shots, how things are happening.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's forget all that.
Okay.
How do you feel today?
I'm okay.
Are you okay? How special is this for you, for the team, and for Petersburg?
It's number one thing going for Petersburg right now, and I love it. We're bringing it home, baby. Next game is in Petersburg Saturday. I need all of the Petersburg people in the gym. We need to hold it down. Sorry.
All right, basketball's a back and forth game a lot of times. We're playing a team that's played us tough all year long.
Yes.
The Hoyas did a great job this afternoon.
Yes.
Really cold shooting. We came out cold.
Right.
Came out frigid at times.
Right.
Okay. Foul line was 0 for 4 to start with.
I thought you said we were talking about free throws.
Yeah, well, we just threw them in there, a little extra.
Right.
Okay, and on top of that, we went the first 4 possessions, 0 for 4 from the field.
Right.
Team settled back down,
Right.
started landing some shots, but constantly back and forth. We built a lead in the third, almost 12 to 14 points.
Right.
Okay. You were trying to get them to slow down, but we're still playing a fast-paced game. What was happening during that time?
The guys were excited. The guys wanted to shoot that 15-pointer that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They think they could just get this one shot off and we could tie the game. So other than that, we talked to them, we settled them down, have great, really, really good coaches. Really good coaches. We settled them down, and when they, let me let you get to the third, because I got something to say about that. But once we got them settled down, they started playing our brand of basketball.
Now, I also saw in the game, key moments, we put on pressure defense again.
Yes.
And while they got some easy baskets, and the majority of the time,
Right.
there were turnovers, we had transition baskets. How key was that pressure defense tonight?
That was the thing. When they started going back on their run, we got out of it. And then we immediately put it back on, and that's how we were able to seal the game.
Okay, so tell me, going into the fourth, how did we get the separation and ultimately the win?
Stops. And then we took care of the basketball, got the ball to our playmakers in the fourth quarter, and our playmakers stepped up.
All right, guys, from South Carolina, the Cavaliers are going to be bringing the championship game home to the Berg next weekend.
Go!
Good job, Coach. Congratulations on a great win.
The second game saw sluggish shooting in the opening quarter of the play. Both teams would settle down as the game saw multiple lead changes. The Thunder drained the 10 three-pointers early on, 5 coming from Matthew Todd on a 26-point first-half individual performance. The Crusaders' Ryan Scott would post 16 points in the first half, while Quan Prowell would add 10 points, keeping the Crusaders within striking distance, but still down 14 points, 69-55 at the half. With 5 minutes remaining in the third period, the Crusaders had managed to overcome a double-digit Thunder lead and pull within 4 points before Dion Berrien drained a 3, pushing the Thunder back out 79-72. The Crusaders remained in hot pursuit, pulling within 1 point of the Thunder at the 8:56 mark of the fourth quarter, 91-90. The Crusaders finally took the lead with 8:01 on the clock, only to lose it again on the next possession when Matthew Todd fired off a 3. Rob Whitfield would secure the final Crusaders lead with a 3-point at the 2:10 mark, 102-100. 30 seconds later, a substitution technical called on the Thunder would extend the Crusader lead to 103-100. The Crusaders outscored the Thunder 28-12 in the fourth quarter, securing their spot in the ECBL championship game against the Cavs on Saturday, June 18th in Petersburg.
We're on the LNN postgame show. I'm here with Coach Justin Doris with the Carolina Crusaders. Coach, heck of a win. Congratulations.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You guys, a tough-fought game. At one time, you had to come back from a double-digit lead that the Thunder was bringing in. How did you overcome that? What was the plays that you were doing to get back into the game?
Just actually recognizing some mismatches. They went with a certain set of guys that usually don't play as much through the year. So we just made a couple of adjustments to try to kind of fight back and get back in. You know, my guys were kind of lingering and kind of, what we're going to do? But we've been there before, man. The first game of the season, our first time together, had 6 or 7 players. We were down 20, came back and won by 2. So I have a great group of guys, man, that just believe in fighting. And as long as time on the clock, we got a chance.
What do you think was the key to the game today for your victory?
Just patience and being able to will ourselves from the bottom. We've been pretty much the underdogs all season. We were started out good. We was in 4th at one spot, then we ended up getting the last seed in the playoffs. But this group of guys, man, have just showed a great deal of heart, man, and I'm just grateful, man.
Now, there's no easy game in the ECBL.
No.
You guys have Petersburg coming up in the Berg.
Yeah.
What are you feeling about that game coming into?
Well, I know it's going to be a great fight. I watched those guys earlier today when they played the Hickory Hoyas, and they have a great group of guys, great program. And, you know, we're going to enjoy the day and kind of get back, go and watch some film and look forward to playing those guys. It'll be a one-and-done situation being able to play those guys, but we're looking forward to the matchup.
Okay, Coach, congratulations on the victory today, and we'll look for you in Petersburg next week.
Thanks so much. We look forward to it.
Thank you.
After an up-and-down series of games, the Tri-City Chili Peppers have lost their hold on the top spot in the East Division of the Coastal Plain League, slipping to the number 2 spot with a tie with the Morehead City Marlins. Both teams are 9-5 for the season so far, with the Wilson Tobbs just a step ahead at 10-5. On Thursday, June 9th, the Peppers lost 10-0 to the rival Peninsula Pilots on the Pilots' home turf, but the team was able to turn it around for a home game on Friday, June 10th against the Wilson Tobbs, defeating the Tobbs 14-11. The Tobs were tied with the Chili Peppers for the first place in the division going into Friday night's game, meaning the stakes were high, especially since the first matchup between the two teams this season ended in a loss for the Peppers. On Saturday, June 11th, the Chili Peppers suffered another defeat, this time by the Morehead City Marlins. The Peppers struggled at bat, but a solid rotation of pitchers in the last 4 innings of the game kept the Marlins at bay. They ultimately won only 3-0. Sunday delivered another win for the Peppers, this time 4-2 against the Pilots, closing out a roller coaster weekend for the team. On Tuesday, June 14th, after a brief break from back-to-back games, the Chili Peppers once again took to the field, this time in Holly Springs, North Carolina, where they faced the Salamanders. The first run of the game came in the bottom of the second when the Salamanders hit a home run, but the Chili Peppers battled to keep up, closing out the night with a 7-4 loss to the Salamanders. The Peppers will have a chance to pick themselves back up when they play the Peninsula Pilots once again on Thursday, June 16th, followed by Friday and Saturday night games this weekend. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
Thanks, Chai. How's the weather looking for this weekend?
Temperatures cool off a bit this weekend, with a high around 80 degrees both Saturday and Sunday, lows in the mid-50s with clear skies, ideal conditions for outdoor activities like hiking and water fun. Monday will see temperatures rise into the mid-80s with partly cloudy skies. On Tuesday, we'll begin to rise into the mid-90s, lows around 70, and Wednesday we'll see highs climbing close to 100, around 97, with a chance of storms. So break out the sunscreen as well as the umbrellas. Back to you, Carolyn Day.
That's all for this week's newscast, but we'll see you next Thursday for the latest local headlines. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks for watching LNN News by the People, for the People. Hi, I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt.
And I'm Chai Gallahan.
Major media companies have editorialized reporting and called it news. The free press was never designed to be journalistic interpretation of the facts. LNN USA is committed to reporting facts about issues important to you, but the free press is anything but free.
LNN USA exists to serve our fellow citizens. As a locally owned and operated digital news network, we forego the expensive printing presses, costly production plants, and corporate overhead. Your membership dollars are primarily used to pay local reporters to cover local news. Reporters dedicated to investigative news and features that matter. To do that, we need your support.
Become a member, and you'll receive the LNN Insider Weekly Email, a 40-page magazine packed full of news and features you won't find anywhere else. Membership also includes full access to LNN News broadcast archives, LNN Insider magazine archives, extended interview clips not aired in the weekly broadcasts, and more.
Your membership supports local independent reporting free from corporate and political pressure and agendas. Become an LNN member today by going to LNNusa.com and clicking on the subscribe button at the top of the page.